the station covering all of the DMV. This is DC News Now.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us for DC News Now. I'm Daniel Hamburg. Ben Dennis has tonight off. The wind was howling throughout the DMV today. Check out the conditions on the National Mall. Wind advisories and red flag warnings just expired, but it's going to remain breezy. Let's get a check on the forecast. Meteorologist Scott Sumner joining us. And Scott, lots of wind earlier today and tonight in Montgomery County. An extreme cold alert has been activated.
Well, that video that you just showed tells you all. I mean, it looked like you were in the middle of the plain states with the wind whipping on by. These are some of the highest peak winds around the area in the DMV that I could find across the area. Watersville, Maryland, 61 miles an hour. Sibyllsville, Maryland, that was at 60 miles an hour. Watersville's in Carroll County. Sibyllsville is in Frederick County. Then you got Martinsburg, West Virginia, 55, double nickel there. In D.C. at George Washington University there at the Mount Vernon Point there, 50 mile an hour wind gusts. Cabot John, Maryland, 49 miles an hour. And Quantico, Virginia, coming in at 49 miles an hour as well. I didn't put the temperatures on there. I wanted the camera to show you and tell you the story here, and you can see a little bit still of some shaking, but certainly not to the extent it was earlier on. And if you're planning on going out and walking the dog or just going out yourself, certainly bundle up, of course. As you well know, temperatures will be in the 40s early evening as a cold wind will be around, but at least it will be dry. Hey, this fire looks good, doesn't it? The weather headlines here. Colder air ushered into the DMV starting now and into your Monday. It'll still be breezy on Monday. We'll have some more showers on Tuesday. And we got a warming coming up late week. We'll talk about that with the 7-day forecast. Daniel, back to you.
All right, thank you, Scott. Well, the pain continues for Commanders fans. The Burgundy and Gold losing 16-13 in overtime to the Miami Dolphins during their game in Spain. It's their 6th straight loss. Washington and Miami needed an extra quarter as the game went into overtime, but a missed field goal to Miami led to Miami winning the game 16-13, giving the Commanders their 6th straight loss in a row. Commanders fans watching this morning's game back home, many wishing for a better outcome. Others say they hope the team has time to reset before hitting the field again.
I hope that we can do a little bit better this year. It's been a little bit rough for past few games, especially seeing your franchise guy go down and whatnot. But I'm just hoping we can pick up the pieces and hopefully finish out the year strong, get ready and reset for next year.
Commanders have a bye next weekend. They'll host the Denver Broncos at Northwest Stadium on November 30th. Well, today's game in Spain was the first ever for the NFL. Commanders fans gathering in local spots in Madrid, those that made the trip there getting a special surprise. The next round on the Commanders, the NFL commissioner is praising this international series, saying the league plans to return to Spain and hopefully expand to other countries. Well, the Smithsonian says it's on track to have all of its buildings operating by Monday. The update comes as more museums reopen their doors to the public, including the Smithsonian's American Art Museum and National Portrait Gallery. The museum shares its main building with the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery. It houses roughly 43,000 artwork from more than 7,000 American artists and is the nation's first collection of American art. The museum sees just over 1 million visitors pass through its doors every year, according to the Smithsonian. That makes it the nation's 7th most visited art museum. Visitors told us after the end of the 43-day government shutdown, they're glad to be able to see the amazing works of art housed in the building again.
They're awesome. Like, I mean, look at this. Doesn't get better than this. Doesn't get better. What else would you do on a beautiful Sunday? Come to the museum and have a great time.
Many Smithsonian museums have now reopened to the public. All other Smithsonian buildings will open their doors tomorrow. Well, the National Zoo is now reopened after the government shutdown. The zookeepers giving us updates on giant pandas. They say Qingbao had a routine checkup in late October and is in very good health. The vet staff did a complete physical exam. They also checked to make sure she's eating enough. New tonight, fire crews putting out a brush fire today in Northwest D.C. This is on 52nd Street near Rockwood Parkway. Officials say an area of brush and a portion of fence caught on fire. No one was hurt. In Maryland, Montgomery County fire crews putting out a large brush fire in a cornfield. This is in Damascus. Fire officials say it started just before 9:30 this morning on Mountain View Road. They say the 30-mile-per-hour winds helped spread the flames quickly. Crews were able to get it out. No one was hurt. And in Virginia, we're learning more after a house fire in Loudoun County yesterday. The fire marshal's office says it was caused by a lithium-ion battery pack that was charging. They say there was more than $1 million in damages. Crews responded to Kiphart Drive yesterday afternoon. One person had minor injuries and a firefighter was also hurt. 2 people were displaced. Officials in Montgomery County say they are seeing an increase in the unsheltered population, and now they're working to figure out the best way to solve the problem with available local and federal funds. DC News Now's Tosin Fakile has more.
And county officials got a snapshot of the county's current homeless population. In their point-in-time count of this calendar year, they saw a 32% increase from 2024 and counted 1,510 total people experiencing homelessness. They say the largest increase in the unsheltered population is in family households. About 401 families were helped in emergency shelters this year. Officials say the county housed 795 adults and children with their short-term housing and resolution program.
It is incredible work to house 795 people, and we have at this point housed more people in 10 months than were counted on the night of the point-in-time count in January. So it's just a testament to what can be accomplished when we're all united in our goal.
Officials also talked about challenges, including funding threats from the federal government. They say under the Trump administration, they anticipate changes to HUD continuum of care funding, including a 30% cap on permanent housing. One council member says despite that, they have to have the difficult conversations and find a way to make it work.
So we have to continue to figure out what's realistic, and just be honest about that. About the limits in the services that we can provide, and go as close to those limits as we possibly can and leverage them and be strategic and thoughtful.
About 800 of those are in federally funded permanent supportive housing. We expect that about 600 will be impacted by a 70% cut in our housing program. We are very fortunate to be in a county that invested so heavily into permanent supportive housing, and we don't have space for 560 people. So that is the challenge that we are currently intensively discussing.
Officials say they've moved into action mode as they go through the budgeting process, preparing for the federal funding difference. And they've started informing those who will be impacted in terms of housing by the federal cuts. In the studio, I'm Tosin Fakile. Back to you.
Happening today, a bike ride to honor those who have been killed in crashes. The Ride for Your Life takes cyclists from downtown Bethesda to the Lincoln Memorial. It's in conjunction with World Day of Remembrance for road traffic victims. Locally, the ride honors Sarah Langenkamp, a mother and U.S. diplomat killed while biking on River Road in 2022. 11-year-old Summer Lynn when a bus hit her on her bike last month in Montgomery County. And James Anderson, the 16-year-old, was killed crossing University Boulevard in September. Well, skating for a cause, the Washington Capitals hosted a Hockey Fights Cancer Skate today at MedStar Capital's Iceplex. Players skated with children, survivors, and families affiliated with Blood Cancer United Mid-Atlantic, Make-A-Wish Mid-Atlantic, MedStar Health, and Sunrise Day Camp Greater Washington.
It's important for us, for them, and we have fun. They have fun, and they will remember that for the rest of their lives.
One of my favorite days of the year, getting to spend some time with these kids. Just kind of forget about everything. Go for a skate, try to make them laugh.
The Hockey Fights Cancer jerseys, one worn by players, will be auctioned off to support those cancer charities.